Watt has tied Michael Strahan's single-season record.
Oh, no.
In the air to right. This is deep. And he did it again. Jack Suwinski wins it for the Pirates. 3 home runs in a game.
Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline in the BP TV studio right here in the Municipal Building. Thank you for watching us on Comcast, I'll pause, 21 in Bethel Park, only in Bethel Park. Then thanks for watching us on Verizon 32 in Bethel Park and all the way from Cranberry, Wexford to Nemacolin, City of Pittsburgh and the greater Pittsburgh area. And thanks for all the likes on our Facebook page. You know, we're struggling to get 7,000, but I'm not worried. I checked 6,981. So we only need 19 of you to like our page tonight. Come on, you can do it. Can't pull up who's watching, but I'll get to that a little bit later. I'm Al Levine, the talking machine, Smoking Jim Frazier, and our revolving co-host chair with Chip and Guns. Jim Ellenbogen is back this week, and we have Nick VIP Callis.
I'm here. Hello.
There.
Hi, everybody.
He's in the control room. All right, Nick, we need you to do those promos that we do, and you can start right now, my friend. Pittsburgh Sportsline supports the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette Strikers. I worked there for 36 years. My former union, CWA PPMWS 14842, Pittsburgh Local Mailers Union number 22, is on strike. Even though health care benefits were secured for workers by the union, Post-Gazette management cut them out without the union's approval and still expected workers to show up without any coverage. Please cancel your Post-Gazette subscriptions online or in print. Pittsburgh Sportsline supports the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette Union Strikers. Frank Fanera, owner of Olive Oil's Pizzeria and the Hillcrest Shopping Center on Route 88. Call them at 412-831-1900. Every Tuesday night, Olive Oil's Pizzeria provides the host and the amazing volunteer crew with an XL pepperoni pizza and a full steak hoagie. They are delicious. Olive Oils is proud to support Pittsburgh Sportsline and the volunteers at BPTV. Stay Joey strong. Joey Fabus died at 8 years old of brain cancer known as DIPG. Since then, the family has come together with community members to create the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit. Since being founded, they've raised over $100,000. Go to jfccf.org to learn more about DIPG, to help spread awareness, and to see how else you can support and donate towards the fight against this dreaded brain cancer. Always Be Smiling, a 501c3 designed to help children and families in need of kidney transplants. The B stands for Bennett, whose memory is embedded in this organization by his parents, Kristen and Dean. Despite the challenges he faced in his 16 and a half years of life, Bennett always had a smile on his face and spread kindness to everyone he could. Now, Always Be Smiling wants to pass on that kindness. Go to alwaysbesmiling.org to learn more and see how you can support or donate to this organization. The Bethel Park Community Foundation has money for you. I'm Al Levine, trustee on the board of this great organization. The BPCF focuses on raising money to provide scholarships, grants, endowments, and more. Grant requests are available online from $100 to $5,000. You can also attend fundraisers or donate. Go to bpcf.org to get more information and to stay up to date on upcoming events. The Bethel Park Community Foundation, focusing community resources, building for the future. The Bethel Park Historical Society is a 501c3 that serves Bethel Park. The Historical Society operates out of the Schoolhouse Arts and History Center, located at 2600 South Park Road. Look for the red and white trolley right out front. Reginald's Coffee is inside, and I've heard it's the best coffee around. To visit this great historical venue, email historicalsocietybp@gmail.com.
The Municipality of Bethel Park presents the second annual Park and Play Series, scheduled to last through the summer and into the fall. All 8 events in this series are free, and most take place in the beautiful parks around Bethel Park. The kickoff event is the Fitness and Fun for All at Village Green Park on Saturday, June 17th. The Park and Play Series also features the ever-popular Summer Spectacular and Fireworks Show, this year to be held on Friday, June 30th. For a full list of events and details, go to bethelpark.net/parkandplay. You can also get updates by following the Municipality of Bethel Park on Facebook. The Bethel Park Park and Play Series. Fun, festive, free. And now this message from BPTV.
Alas, poor talking machine. I knew him well. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy?
Dave, I'm not dead. I'm still doing Pittsburgh Sportsline every Tuesday night and many other weekly shows on BPTV.
That's great, Al, but then who's this?
I don't know, but we must leave right now. Let's go. Help save Pittsburgh police officer Jeffrey Crawford. Jeffrey is in need of a kidney donation. He's in stage 5 renal failure and he's on dialysis 3 times a week. He needs this kidney ASAP. To contact the UPMC donor registry, call 412-647-4438 or go to livingdonorreg.upmc.com. And to help spread awareness, use the hashtag #BlessJeff on socials. Let's come together to support Pittsburgh policeman Jeffrey Crawford in his time of need. Alex Reed is in need of a kidney. 2 weeks after college graduation, Alex's kidneys failed. A gracious donor gave Alex 7 years of life, but now he needs another kidney. To learn more about becoming a donor for Alex, call 830-285-2140 or go to kidneysolutions.org. Zhang Taekwondo just opened a new location in the South Hills, along with its location in Wexford and its inclusion in the curriculum of Provident Charter School in Troy Hill. Zhang uses Taekwondo to teach its students confidence and self-discipline through physical fitness. Zhang is offering a 4-week special. You get a uniform and lessons for $30. If you mention the Talking Machine, Smoking Jim, or VIP Nick, they'll give you a further discount. For more information, go to zhangtkd.com or call 724-934-9264. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. Hey, Ralph Williams, hello. Paul Haley, greetings from South Carolina on Facebook Live. Thank you. John Donatelli, good evening. Pirates in the Heartland beat the Cubs, then the Brew Boys. We hope so, Doctor. Let's see. Chuck McElroy's, hey, R.I.P. Stan Savran. Yeah, may he rest in peace. One of the best. Marco Rohde's watching. Hi, guys, from Universal Studios in Florida.
That's my man.
Have a great time in Disney World. Gonza's watching us now. All right, we got to go. Thank you very much. We got to go to Smoking Jim. What's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the Talking Machine. And if you want the green,
I find the green pen.
The C. Levine. my favorite white cornerback right there.
Where?
Hey, Al Levine, the talk machine. I know my man Nick will appreciate this.
How do you know these things?
The Oakland A's are on a 7-game win streak.
You know, help them get that.
And I tell you what, right now the city is in negotiation. They reopened the negotiation to keep the team there and open the new stadium. So you got to thank the Pittsburgh Pirates for starting that win streak. Go Buccos! I'm wearing my hat. I'm so proud of them.
Disclaimer.
A-Town down.
Disclaimer to Smoking Jim on his lack of information while he's wearing a pirate hat. You didn't mention, because you're always looking negative, sorry, to all your fans. You know he's the nicest guy in media. He's my best friend. The Pirates, it's June, and they're in first place. You forgot to mention it.
Congratulations.
I'm glad I could provoke you to it. Way to go, Buccos. Okay.
And like everybody's been saying all day, you know, rest in peace, Stan Savage.
What a nice guy he was.
We did a couple of shows together. On his AM show, they used to always say, I love the show. I never loved the show much, but he was good. He was good on as a guest, like on the Mark Madden show. He was very
I listened to him. I heard him 2 weeks ago. Here's what's sad. I listened to it once in a while, and he said he's struggling a little bit with his therapy.
Yeah.
But he's going to get better, and he'll be back, you know, before you know it.
I didn't know he was back home. That's where he passed away.
Yeah. Well, he was out of the hospital, but doing therapy.
Yeah.
No, I listen to it once in a while.
Rest in peace. Dan.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Madden, but he does some nice interviews with great people. So.
Was you a fan of Stan's show?
Always. I met Stan. I knew him personally.
Did a couple shows with him.
Well, then you know what a nice guy he was. Always an upbeat guy.
I
And
don't know about that.
well, when I saw him, you could bring out the best in anybody. So we're going to go to Jim Guns Ellenbogen. What's on your mind?
Let's talk about some Steeler stuff. What do you think?
It's never too early.
All right. Steeler defense. Another defensive back.
They listen to our show,
Steeler signed Keanu.
whatever his name is.
I can't even think of his last name.
Keanu Neal.
Keanu Neal.
Thank you, Nick.
Now, what's interesting about that, and I said this when they drafted Benton as a tackle, who's ugly and nasty in there.
He's mean.
But what's interesting about Keanu Neal is he's Tatum ugly.
Jack Tatum.
If you look back from Tampa net, he's got more fines than I did when I played. They're always
Tough hits.
finding him. Oh, he's an assassin.
Smoking Jim loves that.
He's an assassin, and that tells me that Tomlin is looking to make the defense a lot uglier and meaner. That's like that kid, what's his, Hebrick?
Yeah.
He's another one's got a couple bolts that are rattling around. So,
What have we been saying on Pittsburgh Sports Line? They need that help.
yeah, it looks like we're going to have a much uglier and nasty defense. So let's get to Kenny Pickett.
Okay.
All right, here we go. A lot of teams like Cincinnati, Baltimore, they're building their teams around their quarterbacks. Are the Steelers doing that?
No.
I don't think so either. I think that Kenny Pickett is a manager for everything else they're going to do. And what I mean by that is, you know, first down, they're going to run, do
Hold
the
it.
short
Smoking
pass.
Jim, you need oxygen.
Run,
He
right.
just took a sip of 20 seconds. Get him some oxygen. That ginger ale went down easy. Sorry, Guns.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
So
What are they doing?
it seems to me that they're going to spotlight bust head nose running football, and that his job is to manage it. That's what I see. You know, so I'll be interested to see which offensive linemen start. They got a good group, but if I was them, I'd start them 2 Eagles
Yes.
because they're mean and
Yeah.
tough, and go from there. It just seems to me all we need is center. So you know.
Oh, we do need a center. We've had good ones in the past.
So, like I said, everybody's thinking that Canada's changing his playbook. No, he's just decorate the same house. And that's what's on my mind.
Wow, we got some house decorating from Guns. I can't disagree with you because I see all these teams getting wide receivers, tight ends, and everything. And we're getting linemen and safeties and cornerbacks. So
With a manager as quarterback. They may let him throw once in a while.
well, maybe if he has more time where he couldn't see the left side of the field, he might see some of
Well,
it.
the thing that scares me too, he's got, once you get that second concussion,
You're two alike.
personally I prefer defense because in the Christmas spirit, it's better to give than receive.
That's right. That's right.
I was brought up that way. Anthony Bacco's watching, and Nick VIP Callis, who works at the Fan, they know him as Harry. What's on your mind?
Well, I'll tell you, Taekwondo's on my mind. If you didn't get a chance to see the story yet, Smokin shared it on his Facebook. I shared it. I'll share it. So, Master
And
Zhang.
we produced it on Pittsburgh Sportsline.
Yes. Yeah. So
Got to help you there, kid.
they let Master Zhang call into the show and
Grandmaster.
talk about Taekwondo, and the man essentially compared me to the Kenny Pickett of Taekwondo in terms of potential, and apparently now I'm on the journey to be a master. And I just kind of wanted to put this out there too for accountability because it's documented now, being on TV and being on radio. I'm looking to get in better shape, and I feel like Taekwondo is going to support me in doing that. Master Zhang believes in me. And so to proclaim it out there now, I'm setting a goal for weight loss. So all of you out there, Sportsline fans, can hold me accountable. Everybody at the Fan who heard that can hold me accountable. And I'll be a master in Taekwondo one day. I'll at least get a belt. I can commit to that. I'm going to get a belt. I don't know what color it's going to be.
I think you start out at a white belt.
Yeah, so
And there's about 7 or 8 until you get a black belt. So you got your work ahead of you. The Fan people, no offense meant, but they're a little naive in not knowing Taekwondo.
What a master! I think Master Zhang's the one. He either said I'm going to be a master or a black belt at the end, and I forget which one.
Well, he said you have the potential to do that because we want to get you in shape to be able to do it, and you showed some great skills.
Yeah, so that's my
I'll
commitment.
say it because I'm proud of you.
That's my commitment to everybody on Pittsburgh Sportsline here tonight, and everybody that heard on the Fan. I'm going to get a belt. I'm going to drop some weight, and good things are going to be coming.
He'll be the next Bruce Lee doing movies.
Oh, man. Well, that's an interesting goal.
I tell you what, I love Nick. I'm a big fan of Nick. He's my hero, but I don't care if he gets 10 black belts. I ain't calling him master.
You've given me the greatest compliment by calling me VIP all these years, Smoking.
Hey, I had to choke back a laugh, but this is a disclaimer, a true one. The disclaimer is this is a form of respect and from the Eastern cultures. Smoking Jim doesn't know geography, and Taekwondo was founded by a general in the South Korean Army, and he doesn't know where Korea is. So the disclaimer is his comments make no representation of us or the BPTV studio, and we're almost going to ban him from taking another bite of pizza because that's uncalled for, and he'd have to call.
The greatest compliment he gives me, though, he gave me the VIP nickname, so if
said
he's not going
South
to call me
Korea's 30
master,
miles
I'm
south of
cool with
Detroit.
VIP.
Thank you, Nick.
No,
Other
that
sports, anyhow, too. Something more sports-related. Congratulations to McCutcheon on 2,000 hits. I think he's one of the most influential Pirates in the history of the franchise and certainly in the modern era. Influential. That doesn't mean he hit a bunch of home runs or he's not Clemente. I understand that. Guns, I saw that look.
Well, you forget guys like Honus Wagner and the Wayner brothers and
Well, do you know what I mean by
High Trainer
I'm saying influential. He moved a
in your
generation.
lifetime.
He moved a generation of Pirate fans, and he was kind of the face of those teams
His generation.
that
His
gave the
generation.
Pirates
He
hope.
said of all time.
yeah.
You guys hear what I'm saying?
No, we're having a little debate with how you can put all time in the last 15 years.
See, there
Well,
was
listen, he was the face, and I say influential again. I'm not talking about just raw talent. He
Yeah,
was-
but you said all time, so that's where the debate is.
See,
But I'm
he
saying,
missed the 40
you under-
years we were here.
he was influential in the case. Hold on now. He was influential in the fact that
We can't see you, but we hear you.
He inspired Pirate fans
Okay.
and he was the face of the franchise, seen as the hero of a franchise that had lost 20 consecutive seasons.
A North American team record.
Right. And so when I talk about influential of all time, like he's going to go down as one of the most remembered Pirates because
the early 1900s?
he was the face of the team that broke that streak. And 2,000 hits is a great accomplishment. And so I use the word influential because, again, not among the most talented. I won't say he's better than Clemente or Stargell or any of those people you all marvel over. But I'm saying that he...
No, the first Hall of Fame class was Honus Wagner.
Even that, but I'm saying, do you understand?
That's impressive.
Do you understand what I mean by the word influential?
Well,
Exactly, but in your lifetime.
I agree with you, Nick.
Thank
he
you,
doesn't
Smoker.
know. That's from a guy, disclaimer, doesn't know baseball.
You call him Master when you say Master Nick.
I'll say the word influential again. We're not talking sheer talent. Honus Wagner got into the Hall of Fame specifically
I
because
can name 10 guys of their life in that.
How about Dave Parker? How about Al Oliver?
What about Willie Stargell?
All right, first, Nick, I got to interrupt you. Anthony Bacco said, Nick, you must believe in yourself. Paul Haley says, every journey begins with the first step. Go for it, Nick. We're all behind you.
Appreciate you guys.
Anthony Bacco now says, okay, he did some good, but stay away of all-time references. And then he goes, Nick, you're too young to remember, because he wasn't born yet, Anthony. He wasn't born at those times. And I want to bring up one thing to back you up a little bit, Nick. I saw this fact. You know, I like numbers, like Chips puts trivia time, so I like this. I think there's been, in the Major Leagues Baseball since it was founded, in the 1860s, there's been like 20,000, almost 21,000 players. Here's where Kutch has some influence with me. Only 291, I didn't stutter, 291 players have had 2,000 hits or more. So, you know that's less than 1%?
Yeah. But
I'm saying that is influential with people watching the game now, where when you tell us 3,000, Roberto Clemente was the 11th player in MLB history to hit 3,000 hits.
Amazing.
That was 11 out of, what was there, 15,000 players.
when I say influential, though, I'm talking about like in terms of inspiring like a fan base and being somebody who's memorable. Dave Parker, I mean, I think they did this on the Fan a couple weeks ago where they compared Dave Parker to Andrew McCutchen. Dave Parker was more of a power hitter, McCutchen more of an on-base contact hitter.
What about Al? How'd they forget Al Oliver?
Al Oliver was great. I think they mentioned him too. I don't think they did a correct comparison to him.
Well, he's more of a hitter like Kutch.
But you understand what I mean by influential. Like, I get that those people might have been better in their time, but if you think of Pirates that you're going to remember and understand like a direct impact they had on the fan base and on the field, I think that McCutchen is one of those players that's going to stand out as one of the all-time Pirates in history for what he did breaking that losing streak or being the face of the team that broke the 20 straight losing season streak.
Hey, Nick, this is Smoking Jim. I got a question.
I can see you smoking.
Oh,
see, you're on TV.
We're talking 2,000 hits and 3,000 hits. Has there ever been a Major League Baseball player
No.
with 4,000 hits?
I know where you're going.
He'll never get into the
I'm
Hall. He'll never get in the Hall of Fame.
I'm trying to
Disclaimer.
I will say that he was one of the top 20 influential Pirates in the last 100 years, but I'm not going to say he's the most. That's ridiculous.
Well, name me 10 then. Give me 10 like influential, like because I would argue that Dave Parker didn't have as much of an impact on the Pirates community. He was just a really good player.
He was the first $1 million ball player.
How about Pie Trader, American?
Okay, well, Brian Reynolds is the first $100 million player. Are we going to remember him down the line?
Yes, we
How about
are.
Barry Bonds?
Hey, you brought up Barry Bonds. Hey, thank you. You know what? I'll concede this argument since you just brought up Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds.
I'm talking about 20
three
guys
MVPs.
Guys like Archie Vaughan.
People in Pittsburgh didn't care he was throwing his wife down the steps.
But no, you get what I'm saying.
Well, they didn't care that Roethlisberger what he did either.
But do you understand what I mean? People in
Pittsburgh, brother.
Nick, we understand.
But people in Pittsburgh aren't going to remember Barry Bonds as being a great guy and somebody who's influential because he was not a great person on the team. Then he left for a bigger contract in San Francisco. So he's not going to be – I wouldn't say he was influential in the Pirates community because he wasn't a nice person publicly.
Guess what? They packed the stadiums with them here.
But we're not – like even like Chip is saying he doesn't belong in the Pirates Hall of Fame.
Well, because
or
he's
whatever.
a cheater.
Well, you see what I'm saying? McCutchen didn't cheat. And so McCutchen's looked as more fondly because he played.
Here, let me
was
get-
loyal. He
let-
didn't leave for a bigger contract, and now he came back, and the Pirates are winning again with him on the roster. He is influential in terms of bringing the fans together and inspiring them to look forward to good Pirates baseball.
If you're talking about from 2005, then I can agree with that comment. If you're talking all time, we have too many memories, and I do something that's sort of rare nowadays. People read the history of baseball.
Okay.
And the point is, look at the first class of Hall of Famers. Just pull that up with the players that got in there. There were only 7 of them. So, and one of them was a Pirate from Carnegie, Honus Wagner.
All right, that's one guy. You said Dave Parker, Al Oliver.
How about Lloyd Wainer, Paul Wainer, with what they did, getting Big Poison, Little Poison?
That's 5.
There were guys like in history like Tommy Leach, who was like 5'3", 112 pounds, and paid
Elroy Face,
Fred Clark.
Dick Groat.
Oh,
See,
how
but you
about
guys
Bob
might
Friend?
You guys might have recency bias to your eras as well. I know Honus Wagner. I know Willie Stargell. I know Al Oliver. But I don't know some of those guys that you're saying. You might have recency bias to your eras grring up.
No, I have
They're even before
historical.
my era, but you said of all time.
I
I'm
have
telling you, in their
historical
time, they were
bias.
legends.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
Historical
hey,
bias.
how about
Yeah.
Bob Friend? He had such an influence in the community
Oh,
that
Bob.
when he left the Pirates, they elected him the Allegheny County Controller.
Yeah, Bob Friend's another one. There's dozens of them that influence people in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. This is your generation, so your comment is spot on with having people come to Pirate games now and use your word influencer now.
But I will say one thing about McCutchen. In all baseball, he's one of the most positive role models that's out there.
And what do you think I mean by the word influential? That's exactly
All right,
what I mean.
here's a name for you from Paul Haley. He's around our age. Bill Matlock.
Nice guy. World Series third
about
baseman. I know of
Candelaria?
him.
How about John Candelaria, the
I get-
Candyman?
I get the itch of Clutch, McCutchen.
Willie Stargell.
Okay, you got me
We
there.
could keep going with.
Well, they got statues.
And then Chief brought up my favorite all time. What
Right?
about Pie Trainer? I have his autographed
American
picture.
Heating. Remember the commercial?
Who can?
American.
There we go. No, Nick, your point is valid for this era.
I'm still going to say all the time.
Okay, well, that's your opinion.
He wasn't.
We-
here,
I
so he
respect
don't
your
know.
opinion.
In his world, he wasn't here.
Yeah.
So in his world, it's valid.
Well, to me, if you're only looking at 24 years and 9 months, then I understand that.
Jim's got shoes that haven't been worn that are that old.
No, you make valid points for the time, and how you grade it is through the games and the history of it. So if you don't see Honus Wagner, Pie Trainer player, the Wainer brothers,
No, I do. When I say one of
You
the
know
best,
what?
it's
Isn't
like
it amazing how baseball's diminished? Because in our day, 3,000 hits was the mark.
Yeah.
Not 2,000. 2,000 was like,
Yeah.
right? But it is rare.
well, it is, but 3,000 was the mark. Ask Clemente.
Oh, Anthony Bacco brought up a great one. Harvey Haddix.
Oh, yeah, there you
Well, I
go.
brought up Elroy
Well, how about
Face.
Maz?
Bill Mazeroski.
Did Harvey Haddix play here?
Yeah, he played.
He had
there.
a no-hitter for
Yeah,
12
I remember
innings.
that.
No, you didn't. We told
So
you.
when
about
I
it.
say
How
one of the
about
best
Bill,
too,
how
like
about Vernon Law and Bill Verdon?
Vernon Law. I knew his family lived in Greentree, right, Nick?
yeah, that's still about like 10. And when I say one of the best, it could be
Hold
like
it. We've named about 15.
Well, a
You're
lot of people don't. Before our times as well was a guy named Fred Clark, who was the center fielder, who also was the manager of the team.
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know
No.
why we don't see that anymore. I think
we
Pete
won't.
Rose was the last player manager smoking.
Who? Yes, I love you, Nick.
Did you hear what he said? We'll never see that anymore. We can't even. I'm still trying to figure out at my age the difference between an 8th inning pitcher and a 9th inning pitcher.
Here, how about Bob Skinner, player and manager? Paul
yeah.
Haley.
If it wasn't
Way to
for-
go, Paul.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick, we could debate this for days. I'm going to agree to disagree on what you say all is, and you think it's an age differential or an era differential. I think just Pirate history can inspire anybody to be a Pirate fan when you look back over since we were founded in 1876.
Since the year 2000, he's correct.
Okay. All right, we concede in the 2000s you're correct, Nick. You still with us, or
Yeah, no, I'm still going to say all time, though.
we'll say it again?
All time. Cut you in,
Okay,
all time
we
influential
move
Pirate.
on. Nick said all time, and we agree to disagree, and
We need
I
to
can't
take them to the
concede to
library,
him.
You know that.
Well, they don't want to read nowadays. They don't know history. We know it. We've lived it. And no disrespect meant here. If you take it as disrespect, we appreciate your opinions. And we're allowed to have different opinions. Just look at my best friend smoking.
He's young. He don't even know why you won't call him master.
We gotta move on. We gotta move on. Smoking. I don't even want to discuss that.
I'm just saying.
I don't even know what's on my mind.
I'm trying to think, but nothing happens.
All right, I'll bring out may Stan Savran rest in peace. Great guy, legend. And here's what's unique about him. He came from Cleveland and became a lifelong Pirate announcer, radio guy, TV guy, legendary. Truly nice guy, met him a few times. And he always seemed nice to me, Smoking Jim. You always look for a negative on it. You're still looking for mine. And, I appreciate it. I told him once he was stubborn, and I meant it as a compliment. I said, because I'm stubborn. He still hasn't figured that out. But we'll carry on. The Denver Nuggets did something they haven't done ever. And the Joker, how was he not the MVP over Embiid? Did you see what he did? He set a record, averaging 30 points a game, 14 rebounds, and 10 assists during the playoff series.
Wow.
That's unbelievable. I'm a basketball guy, my family.
This may be interest to
Go
the
ahead.
betting public, but there's a certain radio station that Nick knows that told everybody last night with 9 points to bet Denver.
Whoa.
Wow.
Naturally, I went the other way because
Got
we
to
got
do
to
it.
stand up for our brand.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting a lot of good stuff on this. Yeah, but go Denver Nuggets. That's great to do it. And MVP is a regular season award. Chief, I know that, but I meant his team won more teams than Embiid's team. And he played just as well. So we can debate that, Chief. I'm ready. I'm in the debating mood. You know that. All right. And then we got to watch what's hockey tonight, Nick?
The Vegas Golden Knights and the Florida Panthers, and it's Game 5. Vegas can clinch the championship with a win.
You're a good straight man. I'm glad we moved on from our disagreement. And now we're going to come back in 10 seconds with Fiction and Fact. Chief, you're right. So did Giannis. Yeah, that's my point to it. They both should have tied for the MVP. That would have solved it. Way to go, Chief. All right, Fiction and Fact in 10 seconds with Smokin' Jim's Almanac.
Hey, thanks, Al Levine, the Talking Machine. And I tell you what, man, Denver did a lot for basketball. The playoffs in the basketball is unbelievable in the NBA. Congratulations to that great white player they got out there.
Joker.
Yeah, him. You know.
And again, disclaimer, he's not racist. He just says things that do not represent Pittsburgh Sportsline or BPTV. So carry on. Denver's
anytime
great.
Peyton Manning comes back to Denver, he ain't been back to Denver since he played there for 2 seasons.
Well, you know, they brought
Just
him in
to
to
watch
manage the team, Guns.
to manage. Yeah. But hey,
Because they had a great defense.
but it brings me back to something in the NBA. Everybody knows a friend of mine is Isaiah Thomas. And a couple years ago,
Which one? The basketball player or the other guy or something?
There's another Isaiah.
I thought there were
Play for
two.
the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Just checking.
there was one that played in the NBA too recently that was pretty good till he got hurt.
See, I knew
But
you'd
they
remember.
spelled it a little bit different.
I
but
knew you'd remember.
But Isaiah Thomas called me a few years ago, and he was coming to Pittsburgh.
What did he call you?
He wanted me to write a newspaper story on his champagne, which I didn't know champagne was wine at the time. And I told Isaiah, because Isaiah Thomas is cheap, so I told him, yeah, if you buy me dinner.
How about
I'll
everybody
do it.
that has more money than you is cheap?
Yeah, cheap. So, but
spend it,
people
brother.
don't know. Me and Isaiah Thomas go way back to his playing days at Indiana. The most beautiful girl I ever seen in my life, other than Kim Kardashian, was a girl from Monroeville named Terry Wheeler that went on to be a cheerleader.
Terry
in
Wheeler.
Indiana.
Yeah.
She was a cheerleader for the Pittsburgh Maulers. She's a cheerleader for the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, they were only 1 year.
She was team captain of the Atlanta Falcons cheerleader. Absolutely beautiful. So during the summers, Isaiah Thomas went to college with her. He would come visit her. And one summer, he brought Ralph Sampson.
Wow.
And we used to always go to Boys Park because we could play all night under the lights to play basketball. And one summer, I had Dwight Collins stayed over my house that weekend.
Wow.
I had Dwight Collins, Isaiah Thomas, Ralph Sampson, a guy named Michael Thunder Thornton, and I was the leading scorer all night long in the basketball games. Al Levine, the talking machine. I outscored Isaiah Thomas, Ralph Sampson, and Dwight Collins. Because every time they get a rebound, I was cherry picking down the other end. All you had to do was throw it, brother. I wasn't playing no defense, man. But hey, that's what's on my mind. Long time history with Isaiah Thomas, toughest little, skinniest little, didn't back up from nobody type guy. So was Dwight Collins. Was
Hold
a
it.
tough
Who
guy.
bought lunch?
Back then? They used
I
to
know
all,
it wasn't you.
They used to all come to my mama's house for a little barbecue and watermelon, brother. That Ralph Sampson can put away a melon, but all 7'4" of him. But that's what's on my mind. Al Levine, the talking machine. We used to pick some bones together, brother.
I don't know if I can disclaim that, but I have to disclaim it. I'm not going to tell my Smoking Jim story with watermelons at Giant Eagle in the North Hills out on 79 in Cranberry. That's a story off the air, I'll tell you, Guns. All right, let's go to our next segment with Jim Ellenbogen and Guns.
Look, I've seen. All right.
That's a great little graphic.
Anybody watch the Belmont?
Archangelo.
First, Antonucci, first woman trainer in history to win the Belmont.
Ever.
How about that?
147-year record.
Pittsburgh Pirates.
Uh-oh.
Still fun to watch.
I second that.
But I have to say this. If we're going to take the Pirates serious, then we can't, how do I put this? We can't act like it's no big deal when they get spanked by teams like Oakland. You know, if we're going to take them serious as a contender, then we have to be serious about when they lose garbage games like that.
And why do you say that?
Well, because that's the serious team, because we make allowances, and by making those allowances, it makes us look like, well, they're no good. Look at them.
No, I wanted those thoughts out there because people don't think that deep on it.
Right,
Guns,
but
I
I
gotta-
mean, it's like you know, you get a kid in high school that you know is so bad, but he gets a hit, and you're like, all right. It's like that. You know what I mean? I felt bad for them. So we're either going to feel bad for them or we're going to take them serious,
Nick,
right?
you all right there?
Yeah, I got a question for Guns.
Yeah, go
Does it
for
make
it.
you feel any better that they got swept or that they swept the Brewers immediately following the series against the Pirates?
No, because I would hold
It
the
was
Brewers
us.
the same account. But let's go into a different division where that would matter. You know what I mean?
Okay, you answered it. You got an answer, Nick.
Well, my point is too. I don't compare players. You have to be everything you are to your own standard. Not
Okay.
because if I suck, SUX, then
Understand.
not because the other guy's worse than me. That's just makes us both bad, right? So as far as the Pirates go, I will say I'm still having fun watching them because one thing I will say about them, I never know what's going to happen with them.
No, I understand, and I'll go on the record to interrupt you. I've watched more games as of June of this year than I have in over 3 years.
I have as well. I enjoy watching them and listening
And
to
I'm
them.
happy for the Buccos, and it is June. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. And when negative Ned over there makes his comment, he's itching because that pirate hat's ready to pop off.
The only thing I enjoy listening to the Pirates is listening to Harry Nick Callis on the Fan
Yes, sir.
making his
Oh, you're too
brand.
kind.
Yes, sir.
So
Whoa, the branding of
he's
Harry
branded.
Callis.
I was there from the beginning. I'm watching him make his brand. He's going to be there someday.
We're
Yes,
proud
sir.
of our guy, Nick.
One other thing.
What?
Connor Hayward, the third string tight end for the Steelers, made a comment
Unbelievable
that,
comment.
that
Unbelievable.
nobody can guard him.
What?
That's what he said. What's interesting is, and I know a little bit about this, see, when you make comments like that in the NFL, it's like watching an old cowboy movie where you're the toughest gunslinger and there's a cornerback can't wait to try you out.
Is he
So,
white? Is he a white cornerback?
He may be. There aren't many of them left.
Or even
You know.
playing?
Well, that's what made me. That's why Jim likes me, because I'm like,
The last.
I was the last of the Mohicans. But the point is this: he just made a serious target of himself.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, when them young corners around the league see that, they're going to put a notch on their gun, or they're going to try him out.
Well,
So,
Guns, that used to be bulletin board material. But, Nick, what would it be now? I guess something on social media if he said that? Would they watch a video of him saying it, or would it be?
If there was a quote out there, yeah, or they would just make like a meme out of it, or
Okay,
they would
well,
post it.
there'd
But
be a
I will
meme.
say that.
There would be a meme. You ain't gonna catch me.
I will say this, Connor, if you're watching, mind your mouth, because somebody's going to come for you.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Guns. All right, Nick in the control room. Let's go to the VIP segment in 10 seconds.
All right, let's talk about the Pirates.
Whoa, back to back.
Yeah. I mean, to just give my perspective real quick on their losses to
Well,
the
if you
A's.
give somebody else perspective, I'm knocking you off the show.
But yeah, I think that the A's aren't a team that's trying to lose baseball games, so I think they figured it out at the right time and maybe capitalized on a weaker division. The Pirates series against the Cubs here, I think, is definitely more important because when you play division games, obviously, you directly influence where your standing is to the team you're playing. So if the Pirates were to lose 2 of 3 to the Cubs, I'd be a little bit more upset. But a team that's not in your division, that kind of caught a hot streak at a non-ideal time for you, doesn't necessarily mean it's all bad. And the fact that they beat the Brewers, they swept the Brewers, in fact, in that 3-game series, helps the Pirates still. And
Yeah,
and
we're
I don't
still
think
in
it's. I think
first
in the grand
place.
scheme of 162 games, it's not the biggest deal in the world. But at any rate, the series against the Cubs is going to feature a new pitcher in the rotation. Osvaldo Bido got called up.
Can you spell that?
It's like Oswaldo, but with a V. Osvaldo.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And then Bido, B-I-D-O. But yeah.
It's hard to keep track of all these moves.
So, Quinn Priester is a top Pirates prospect, top Pirates pitcher. They want him to get called up. And there are a few people out there that are frustrated that he didn't get the call and Bido got the call. I just want to say from a managerial standpoint, in managing the organization, I think that it was a better move. If Quentin Priester's not ready, he has so many high expectations on him that if he fails in his first couple starts, we're going to be mad about that as Pirate fans. And I also think that with the injury to Velasquez, the inconsistency of Roansy Contreras and his demotion, and then some inconsistency of other pitchers in the rotation, I think that it's important right now, while you have a lead and while the teams that are closest to you are also weaker, to maybe experiment with your depth. Beato's had similar numbers to Quinn Priester in the minor leagues, and so I don't think that it's necessarily a bad move. And again, I think because of the expectations on Priester, it would be unfair to put him into a situation that the Pirates weren't certain that he's ready for. I do believe that we're going to see Quinn Priester pitch for the Pirates this year. I just don't think now's the right time, and I think that it's important to establish depth, because if Beato struggles and he doesn't do well, they're going to send him back down to the minors, and he's going to be another one of those forgettable names in the realm of players that have played for the Pirates and never come back. So, but if he does well, the upside is that you have another reliable arm that you can keep on the Major League roster and help contribute to winning baseball down the stretch. Because again, we're in June now, and the Pirates are still in first place. So if he does well, and he can establish that he is a depth piece or even a consistent piece of the pitching staff, the Pirates only win that way. And again, if he doesn't, there were no expectations on him anyway. So you ship him back down. Maybe bring Priester up after he gets, continues to get more refined. And I think it's just a win-win all the way around.
No, sounds good, Nick. But wouldn't you like to have players get more experience in the minors before they come up in general?
That's exactly what I'm saying,
Yeah, well, that's why I wanted it set out there, because that's sort of how they're deciding on who's coming up.
Yeah.
Like somebody that just came up from A ball to double A ball, we may not want to see him because look what we saw last year. But now if you have these guys in Triple A and they've pitched, a third of the season, you can see it. Now if they play half a season and management's doing the right thing like you and Chip are saying, then that we would expect to see some changes come July or August.
Yes.
Okay. Just so I'm on the same page because I wasn't sure. Thank you.
Works for me.
Any more?
That's all.
All right. We got to go on location, 10 seconds. Thank you, Nick. And Anthony Bacco said, Nick, I agree, good analogy.
Thank you.
All right, on location, we only got one on location coming up, the haunted prison in Monsville, West Virginia, come August. We're not sure of the date. We'll find out for sure. And, we have a couple other things coming up with potential shows, but we'll see what happens. That's all I got for on location. So we got about 10 minutes and 20 seconds to just talk. Oh, we have an author on the show. Guns is an author. Tell them the name of your first book and the sequel that came out.
Well, the first book was called Tarnish on the Brass Ring, which you could still get on Amazon. And they wanted a sequel, and the sequel just came out this week. It's called Shine from a Tarnished Ring.
Excellent, and I've read the book. I recommend all of you except Smokin' Jim get the book. It's an easy read. And if you lived in Pittsburgh like I have my whole life, I want to know the real names of the people in your book.
Well, that's why there's a disclaimer about fiction, but there's a whole bunch of people, they tell me they're buying this book wondering if it's them I'm talking about.
What's the book about, Pittsburgh?
Oh, he'll tell you.
It's politics, it's noir, it's crime. It's how it all
and not really sports
together.
in it, so we're wavering a little.
Yeah, every once in a while I gotta
respect
get away
the
from
guns,
it.
so we can move a little bit from sports.
I might have to get that. That'd be a good read.
Yeah, every time.
It is a good read.
It's the thing about it. It's I wrote it in such a way that it's the kind of reading that if you're waiting for your significant other to come out of the dentist's office or whatever, it's easy reading. Something you would want to read on a beach or.
My point is, it's a page turner. Anybody that reads books, you know how you can't put the book down? I start reading books, get that first chapter, I got to read the second, now the third, now the fourth, and it's dinner time. Drew's calling me. Shout out, Drew. I'll make my dinner when I'm done with this book. That's how it was a great.
The interesting thing about it, and I grew up around politics. My grandfather, my uncle, my dad, all of them. and I was even an elected official, which, I was elected 3 times on their name.
Yeah.
But because I grew up in it, it gave me the ability to come up with some good fiction stuff that add a different spin to it than just your.
I'll ask. I like to ask questions. Would any of them be based on any of your relatives?
I can't answer that. Then
he's a good man. And you were in Lawrenceville area, that area. Would any of the politicians and people that were there, maybe gangsters, be a representation of what you grew up with?
Well, let's just say that as I was growing up, you needed a program to tell the good guys from the bad. And they used to say,
Whoa.
Well, I'll be honest with you, they used to say in the neighborhood I grew up in that everybody got a gun coming out of the neighborhood. Some got a badge with it, and others,
Wow.
But I had friends that,
They crossed.
I had friends on both sides. I'm not gonna, but we all did. It was just the way of the
I know
world
I
then,
did.
How long did it take you to write the book?
The sequel took me, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months.
Do you write at night or during the day?
I do
all
most
day?
of my writing at night because, and this is how I describe it to people. If you watch a horror movie like The Exorcist or The Omen, like at 2 o'clock in the morning, it has a completely different meaning than if you have it at 11 o'clock, if you watch it at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So when I write late at night, your mind is more open to things that are,
And you won't be scared.
and I won't be scared, right?
Just had to put that in there.
Right, so I kind of come
Anthony
up with
Bacco says, hope it's as good as the first. Jim received your second book. Alan, yes, you're right. Each page makes you go to the next.
Well, thank you. I
Anthony.
appreciate that, Anthony.
Yeah, and we just wanted to do that a little bit. And Smoking Jim, you're always up to something. Anything that you've done lately you can talk about on the record in the sports world?
Something was my calendar got messed up. I don't know how it got messed up. I got a defective calendar.
Well, it's technology.
Yeah, I was supposed
You know, with
it's Mac
computers, how they say there's errors. Well, I
Yeah.
found out they said the person putting the info could be making the mistakes.
Well, I forgot to put the info in.
There you go.
But still, I was
Mac
supposed
Pro.
to be at the Washington Greene County Hall of Fame. I didn't realize it was Sunday the 11th, so I missed it.
Love
And,
Greene County.
Yeah, and Perry Ivory, a friend of mine, friend of him, a friend of his family's, he went in. I didn't realize he'd go in, so I felt bad not being there.
Did you call him?
June 28th, Wednesday, June 28th,
That's 2 days before my birthday.
2 days before Al Levine, the
as old as
Talking
me.
Machine's birthday.
I'll catch up the guns
I'll
that
be in
day.
Erie for the Erie All Sports Hall of Fame. And then on,
How do you get invites for all this?
And then on Thursday,
He's legend.
Thursday, I fly nonstop to Dallas, Texas, to visit my brother, who's a millionaire. And
You allowed to brag on TV like that?
I'll say hi and bye to his wife. That's all I say to the missus.
I'm glad you're close.
But
You
him and
wear a
his
cowboy
family.
hat when you're down there?
Yeah, huh?
You wear a cowboy hat?
I tell you what, we always visit the Cowboys facilities, all the arenas. Hopefully the Cowboys are still in minicamp. But I tell you what, Al Levine, the Talking Machine and
What's that?
Guns, is my brother got he spent $50,000 on an in-ground pool, and they have a bet every year that I go down there whether I'll get into the pool this year. I'm gonna win that bet. I think I'm gonna go in there this year. Al Levine, the Talking Machine. I'm tired of him. But I tell you what, my brother got 3 grills in the back. He's the grill master.
Is he?
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
that
he's
sounds-
the
I
grill
love good
master. Some
barbecue.
good brisket.
Nice.
That's
Some
good.
good brisket. He does a good job.
Hey,
But he's still in great shape. He still looks like he could play. He goes to
Wow.
the gym every morning. He's still got abs.
Hey,
He's chiseled out of stone.
One of my friends, George Bonner, I've known him since high school. We're good friends. I can tell you stories with going to Daytona Beach right out of high school. They thought we were going to college. We both skipped a year. I ended up skipping all of college. George went back to college. So shout out to George and his family. Great guy. A great sports guy, too. Loves sports.
Wow.
Thanks for tuning. Nick, what is on your agenda here?
You mean in the next few days I'm hosting the fan morning hosting the Fan Early Morning Show, producing the Fan Morning Show.
What time?
So, I got to be there. The show starts at 5. I'm usually there by 4.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. I'm waiting to see the Pirate game, too. I'm excited for this series. I have a little bit of pessimism because this is a series that I feel like the Pirates could, lose where they have an opportunity and then they just blow it. But
let's be optimistic.
I'm gonna hope
win.
I'm gonna hope that they don't. But I can't stress enough how big this series is. With the Cardinals already buried and the Cubs, about to get buried. The Cubs could be right back in the division race if they win the series. So the Pirates winning this series is crucial to them maintaining first place status and keeping
You want to explain
away.
to people that don't understand the standings when you're playing a first place team?
Well, yeah, when you're playing a division opponent, like whenever you
The first place team.
yeah, like whenever you
Clarify that.
whenever you're playing the first place team, if you win those games, then you raise into. That's actually hard to explain.
Here, let me explain it.
Go ahead.
If you're 2 games behind and you win 1 against the first place team, you're 1 game behind. You have a 3-game series. If you win the second game, you're tied for first. If you sweep them like Nick's worried about, then that team is in first place.
Yeah, so right now the Cubs
How'd I do?
You're good. So the Cubs are 6.5 back, which means if they swept the series, then the Cubs would be 3.5 games back from the
There you
Pirates.
go.
And that's not even considering what the Brewers might do in their series this week. And then the Pirates are playing the Brewers next week, so to stay ahead of the Brewers too is also essential. There's so many reasons why this Cubs series is super important for the Pirates.
And Smokin' Jim has a question.
Hey, Nick, I
Yeah.
forgot to talk about the competition that's coming your way. Starting next Tuesday at 5 o'clock, I'll be co-hosting the Ralph Williams radio show from 5 to 6.
Did you say competition for
Competition with the Ralph Williams radio show.
who's the competition for?
Sounds like you
For
and him.
sound like everybody in the country.
Oh. Huh.
Oh, hey, Paul Haley, before we go, he said, ask Smokin' Jim if he's going to visit the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders
You know what? I'm
dressing
going
room.
to the tryout. And there's a black rodeo in Dallas that we're going to go attend.
Disclaimer.
It is. It's a black rodeo.
Disclaimer.
Oh, this is good. I got tickets.
Disclaimer. I want to see the tickets.
Paul Haley mentioned Skinner. Tell him to talk to me about Skinner.
Yeah. Chief said, great show, guys. Thanks, Chief, for being a big fan. We appreciate you. Glad we could entertain you with some non-sports and sports. But go buy the book from Guns. Tell them the name one more time. Amazon.
Shine from a Tarnished Ring. And if you haven't got the first book, Tarnished from the Brass Ring. So if you like politics and noir, murder and crime and all that, this is for you.
And I'll do a pre-disclaimer. Smokin' Jim, I hope you can report on the Black Rodeo, even though it's not Black History Month.
Yeah, and it's on Amazon.
Amazon, there you go. No, thank you for watching, Anthony Bacco. Great show. We appreciate you watching. Please stay Joey strong.